Yo, can you hear me? Yo, when you close the window like that, you can't hear us. We can't hear each other.
That suck. Fuck.
But the AEW pay per view schedule just came out. I just put
Woo!
it in the
And so
chat.
did we, baby. Hold up. We live, baby.
Are we live?
There she goes. Welcome back to Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots, Wrestling's Entertainment Champions. That's right. The bad guys are back. The recovery. We have a lot to talk about. Mischief and I in the building. How we feeling today, Mischief?
Ooh, the hangover is real. All right. Let me just tell you. But man, did WrestleMania did not disappoint. Let me just tell you something, brother.
No, it didn't.
WrestleMania was everything everybody wanted it to be, and then some. Quite possibly, people are putting it in the conversation of one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. Yeah, I think I need a week to sit on to sit on it a little bit.
Okay. You
I
gonna
think
analyze a
episode
bit?
300 we can kind of go back and discuss. But ladies and gentlemen, episode 300, Thursday, April 25th. You got to check us out because episode 300 will be live and in your face. We will be discussing a whole lot of things, but definitely one of them will be whether or not WrestleMania was the greatest of all time. Thoughts? Initial thoughts, Vic?
I think so. And it's only based off of what Hunter explained and how Hunter was just so adamant about the records they've broken and the gates, the record-setting gates, the record-setting pay-per-view buys, attendance throughout the whole week, 200,000 in the entire weekend in the state of Philadelphia. I'm dropping shit. But yeah, man, it was just a great success. I even dropped myself. Damn, ow, that hurt.
What you doing, yo? What are you doing out here?
Dropping everything. You guys all right? Everybody cool? All right, cool.
Everybody's cool. Everybody's cool.
I'm trying to catch a case now. Listen, record-setting gate, record-setting attendance, merch. My God, some of the names that were selling out merch this weekend was crazy, and then just overall show, right? The Rock was there, The Undertaker was there, John Cena was there. Like, that's not even talking about Cody finishing the story. Like, how many people are finishing their story in life now? Motherfuckers is just going back to college and finishing their degrees and shit that they just started 2 years ago because Cody didn't finish the story last year. So now, like, this is big. This is the biggest one yet, and because of there not being events, this is the biggest one ever. And because of its success without Vince is why it's the biggest one ever in my heart.
I like that you went there. No Vince. Raw, I think a lot of
no Diddy either.
No Diddy, no Vince. This is a new era of wrestling for sure. We did get Snoop Dogg. Where I think that it felt like everybody wanted to put on a tremendous show, and honestly, there weren't very many matches that disappointed. One major exception to that, I think, the internet would tell you that Jay and Jimmy Uso just did not deliver.
Yeah, I can agree there.
It just wasn't. It wasn't what everyone had hoped it would be. You know what I mean? It was an opportunity for a great culmination of a story that we wanted to see. We wanted to see the Usos go at it, man. I thought it was low key gonna be contender for match of the weekend.
Get yo in the building,
Get
real
your
faded.
ass out of here.
Feels
Get
love, feels
your.
love.
You watch WrestleMania? Let's go, baby. Shout out to Get
Listen,
Your
man.
Podcast. The
I
boys in
don't
the building.
I don't feel like I don't feel like they under delivered at all. I just expected more from the Usos.
Hey, Faded in the building. What up? What up? What up? What up?
Yo, we got some bowlers, some legendary bowlers in the building. Appreciate y'all pulling up,
Let's go.
legends, man.
So we're talking
Yeah,
WrestleMania, ladies and
recovering. We're
gentlemen. What did you
recovering,
think?
baby.
What did you
We're
think? I
recovering.
mean, we're not gonna go over the whole card, but
Yeah, we've
you know,
been there,
at
done
this
that
point, it's been a
already.
week. But
I guess we could talk about some Cody records, though. Cody Rhodes set a record and continued setting records as well as other people did, but he's more specifically set a record of merch at WrestleMania.
talk about it.
The show of shows, yeah, he finished the story and all that good jazz, but for him to come out and actually finish number one in merch is crazy. $1 million in just the whole weekend. Over $1 million in just
Word.
merch. Just merch.
In just
the shirts,
merch.
just the jackets, the vests, the everything Cody, over $1 million marketed in sales just the whole weekend alone. That's crazy. And then that's eclipsing last year's too. Don't forget last year he was in the main event and he sold the top merch too, but that wasn't the greatest WrestleMania of all time. That was only the greatest WrestleMania of its time.
Ooh, of its time. But $1 million of merch in a weekend is crazy. That's crazy numbers, man. So good for him. I mean, I think that since Cena, we haven't really seen the ultimate babyface. And I mean, if we're really being honest, towards the tail end of Cena's run, I think a lot of people were over it. Not everybody, but a lot of people were over it. And that's where you got the Cena sucks balance to it. But $1 million in a weekend after winning the title. I mean, this is the culmination of the story. If you watch Monday Night Raw, you see that this story has another chapter, ladies and gentlemen. This does not end here. It is the beginning of what will be a beautiful friendship between Cody Rhodes and The Rock,
the great one,
Dwayne Johnson. So they had a segment which many people called awkward initially, but it was very reminiscent, if you guys remember, of the time that Cody Rhodes came in the ring when The Rock was debuting a new championship belt for the WWE.
Yes, indeed.
But Cody Rhodes was like, "Let me hold it." I don't know if you guys remember that, right? But it was an opportunity. The Jumanji guy was something else. Groovy J in the building. We're gonna get to the Jumanji guy in a minute. We talk about Jungle Boy and the footage, which we will get to in just a second. We're still running down WrestleMania for a minute, but the moment that Cody Rhodes and The Rock shared in the ring, I think is very interesting because it tells you that we're going to continue this beef, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
One thing that I think that this WrestleMania did better than a lot of the other WrestleManias in recent history is that you got a sense that stories were told to a completion, right? Like there was a sense of like feeling whole. Like, yeah, you didn't like the Uso match, but there was a feeling of like, all right, here we are. Like this kind of came to a head. We saw the main event, right? That came to a head. Damage Control, right? That came to a head. Everything kind of like came from a natural progression. The storylines, like you were paid off for watching and following the product for an extended amount of time. Bailey got her moment. If you're a fan of Bailey, you finally got that moment too. You're a fan of Cody, obviously, you got that moment too. You're a fan of Rhea, right? She continued her steam. You're a fan of Damian Priest, well, he got his moment too. You're a fan of Drew McIntyre, he got his moment too.
They literally covered everybody, and Hunter made it a point to say that too. I think in the post that everybody kind of got what they wanted here. It was a way to give everything to everyone, and job well done, I'd say.
Yeah, on that end, I think that WrestleMania was very fulfilling because you did feel whole at the end of WrestleMania. Um,
Nia Jax.
my whole, right? You felt like everything made sense. You felt like at least maybe you didn't agree with certain things, but it made sense. Like the storylines made sense, things made sense, and we didn't always get that in the past. If you remember, The Rock had the quickest match in history, right? To Redbeard, Eric Redbeard. For what? That was a WrestleMania moment that had no, like, that shit made no sense.
Yeah.
Um, there are a bunch of moments in history of WrestleMania that don't make sense because Vince would think it's funny, or it was just like something that he thought he could make sense of,
But
or some,
nobody else probably got or some shit or
right. Like he's like, yo, wouldn't it be hilarious to just piss everybody off right now and do some random shit? No, man. No,
no.
no, the
No,
fuck
keep
was it?
no, keep it in your pants. No,
Oh.
no. Don't.
Um, but we got the feeling here that this is the first WrestleMania of a new era, right? And they sure as hell made you know about it, right? Triple H
Yes.
coming out in the beginning, Steph coming out night
Night
two.
two, yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
certainly made you know that this was a new era, right? Paul Heyman talked about it at length at the Hall of Fame. People,
What do you tell people to do?
suck his fucking dick. um, so they are pushing this agenda, right, of this new era, and I think that we're gonna see it now. This year's WrestleMania won't be as telling as next year's WrestleMania. Next year's WrestleMania will give Triple H um, a whole year's worth of build, right? A whole year and then some worth of build. So we will see by next WrestleMania what the Triple H era is really about. But
Right.
shit, this is a great start.
Great start, yeah. Great way to have to set the bar, right? Great way to keep attention right into next year. Speaking of keeping attention, why don't not let's just bring it into attention. Tony Khan addresses his plan about airing the backstage footage. Groovy, talk to me a minute, man. They bury the NDA, man, right here. And you're right, they straight did here, but they kind of walked around it. They made it about FTR, and to be honest, let's talk about results, right? Because here the results of the video. I think early today. I think we got these results, right? I'm pretty sure it's blown up by now. But right off the bat, 20,000 views, 781 likes. They got the attention they wanted, and
And
then
and the metrics came out too for
I didn't get to add that on
the
here.
episode. Yeah, it's on the chat.
Yeah.
Let me see. They almost hit a mil. I think they peaked at 981,000. Um, so they got close. They peaked at the segment, right?
And
Now
then it went down from there.
here's the thing, all right, and this shit really grind my gears last night. Here I am, I'm watching this shit unfold, and I'm on social media like, what's the point of this? I
Right,
get,
right. Like
I get,
why are we doing this right now?
I get that, I get that. Like, hey, you're gonna pop a rating and shit. You pretty much did. You didn't hit a mil, but you got pretty close to it. However, at what cost? We won the war, but at what cost? All right. AEW got some hype off of WrestleMania because of this, because they announced that they were going to do this, and people were talking about it. People were talking about it at WrestleMania. People were talking about it on Monday. Social media was a buzz. People were interested to see what Wednesday was going to bring. When this happened, what did it really do? Like, yeah, the Young Bucks kind of let it in. FTR kind of tried to build the story around it, but man, that shit was shoehorned, bro. That was bullshit. The truth is, like, we wanted to embarrass CM Punk. What did it really do? Right? You buried your company because you couldn't handle some bullshit backstage. Right? Tony Khan looked kind of foolish. Oh, my life was in danger. CM Punk just he yelled at you. He didn't lunge at you. He didn't like. He kind of like came at you behind the desk, like, all right, dog, relax. All right, I'm not saying that what CM Punk did was fine, but yo, when we talking about like sports, if we would talk, people keep talking about like, oh, if this was in a job, is it okay to assault your coworker? Listen, dumbass, at your job, are you putting on fucking matches against your coworkers? Are you being physical with your coworkers? Because guess what? 90% of jobs that are physical with their coworkers, like sports, they get physical. They tussle, baby. If you watch the NFL preseason, half the teams have fights in the preseason. That shit
Yeah.
is normal. That shit is normal when you got people full of that testosterone. They want to fight. They want to get all their energy out. Yo, that shit is a normal
Steroids.
amongst
Testosterone.
amongst competing peoples. Competing people, yo, they compete in various aspects. Yo, how many times, didn't Spreewell choke his coach? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we've had tussles in locker rooms all across sports, right? Even whether it's on the field or in the locker room. So this isn't necessarily foreign. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't necessarily unprecedented. So let's start there, right? In a field where people compete physically, this isn't necessarily strange.
Right.
All right. What CM Punk did was out of line. Yo, this Jungle Boy wasn't reaching out to him. Jungle
He
Boy
didn't attack
didn't
him or
encroach
not. He
on
did.
his space.
Punk made the first move
Punk
here.
made the first move. Punk snuffed him and then he put him in a headlock. Again, he didn't beat the ever living breaks off of him,
Right.
but he certainly stood on business.
Most likely because of what Jungle Boy says.
Right, and that's the sense, is that he probably says he's some out of pocket shit. What did it do for the company? You can't handle backstage. The story was that Jungle Boy was giving Tony Schiavone shit, right? That CM Punk had to step in. I just choked the guy.
Just choked the guy a little bit.
I just choked the guy a little bit.
Choked him a little bit.
What looks crazy is that y'all weren't able to handle your business backstage.
Okay.
And if you really wanted to embarrass everybody, what you did, it was embarrass yourself. Because what I saw was Jungle Boy get assaulted, really, right? And then get suspended for being assaulted. Now forget that part.
Nah, I think that's a work though. I think that's a work because now look at it. Jungle Boy, #1 in merch, baby.
Everybody, okay, no doubt.
We all buying it, baby. Buying the shirts. Now he's #1 seller.
The two pops out of all this was Jungle Boy became the #1 merch seller, and they popped the rating. What was the cost?
It's a big cost.
Tony
It's a
Khan
big
looking
cost.
like a fool.
But
Jungle Boy looking like a punk.
I don't think it's gonna last
long. Hell, which I think is a pro, but it is what it is. CM Punk looked good coming out of that. And again, I'm not condoning that.
It's noise. I think it's noise. I think it's gonna die out, and people are gonna forget about it.
But it already died out, Vic. That's the point. Is that it already died out? Nobody gave a shit.
And they brought it back.
And then they brought it back.
But I think it's for that. I think it was to get Jack over. To get the popular rating that's probably gonna drop.
But did they get Jack over? Did they get Jack over?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sold
merch. And merch, well, yeah, he's kind of over now. He's kind of back over again.
Merch, Poppy, but he looks foolish. People were chanting CM Punk. Go to social media.
No, definitely.
People are lighting AEW up.
Took over during the entire segment. They took over with the Punk chants. They were going crazy. It wasn't even fair. And then I don't even know. Like Schiavone was mad. Schiavone was just like.
Schiavone looked like he didn't know where to put his face. Yo, I was secondhand embarrassed because of that shit.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know about staying power either, Groovy. I think this was just a power play for the pay-per-view for the Bucks, and I don't know because I don't even like the way the rebuttal of FTR here either, because they came out immediately and it looked like a shoot rebuttal, but then they worked themselves into a work. and it was like I don't know what
I don't know. I just didn't.
the model this.
Groovy J said it was a flash in the pan. I think I
Yeah.
agree with that. I think that you really and you know what? And here's how I know that they AEW shot themselves in the foot, in the face, in the dick. This is how I know they shot themselves everywhere, right? Because you know what they did immediately after they showed the footage? They deleted the footage. It's not on YouTube anymore. It's not. You can't play it on Twitter.
That's wild.
People are getting the DMCA. They cannot.
Oh,
Yeah, they're shut. They're
okay,
striking
okay.
everybody for putting up the. So y'all put it out,
But now you took it
and
down.
now y'all took it down because I think y'all know it looks foolish. It looks
Yeah,
dumb.
it looked kind of bad.
They pulled the J. Cole. Let's go, Groovy
Pull the J.
J.
Cole.
They pulled the J. Cole. Let's go.
Shout out to J. Cole making noise.
And that's the truth. Is that they look dumb. Y'all wanted to be cute with this shit, and then when it wasn't cute, now what?
What's worse, this or the explosive match between Kenny and Kingston?
Well, we'll talk like you mean Moxley?
Moxley, my bad. I said Kenny.
You know what? I think this just because it's now. I think that people are over that. Like, and that's the thing is that people would have been over this. Nobody was talking about this shit no more. Nobody was talking about Punk in AEW anymore.
Yeah,
Now that's what everybody's talking about right now. Everybody's talking about CM Punk in AEW right now. CM Punk was
that's
the leading,
terrible. You don't
was
want
the
that
leading
at all.
trend on social media on Wednesday and into Thursday. Like, yeah, all right, Jack Perry popped a couple shirts and they popped a rating, but long term, the rumors are that people didn't like it. So if people backstage for AEW didn't like it, so I mean, I think it did more harm than good. I think y'all look silly, and it really blew up in their faces. And I think the proof is in the pudding when you look at how they reacted to the footage. They took all the footage down. They took all the footage down. They were like, nope, can't do that. So y'all telling on yourself. You telling on
No
yourself.
nice things. I'm telling you.
That's why we can't have no nice things. Now, I do want to shout somebody out because we just mentioned the no nice things.
Hey,
I want to mention good friends of the show, baby, ladies and gentlemen. Smack Talk Showdown. Let me holler at you for a second. Listen, not all games are created equal. You know they say all games are created equal, but you look at us and you look at other games and you can see that statement is not true, ladies and gentlemen. Smack Talk Showdown is the game to play. If you are a wrestling fan, you've got to get on Smack Talk Showdown, ladies and gentlemen. You got to go to smacktalkshowdown.com and use promo code No Nice Things. But guess what? We got y'all, bro. Because here I got brand new games.
what you gonna do with them games?
What am I gonna do with these? Y'all look. We also got some expansion packs, baby.
Oh,
Just checking this out. The Lewd Attitude expansion pack.
you're expanding your
Bro.
pack. Okay.
These things are hilarious. You want to have a good time with your friends, bro? You pick up some of these cards, you can have a blast. If you really about it on the mic, let's talk about it. All right. You got to pick up some Smack Talk Showdown. But what's going to happen this month is that we're going to start giving these away. Thanks to Smack Talk Showdown, who were the sponsors of the No Nice Things tailgate this weekend at WrestleMania.
This thing right here.
Huge shout outs to Smack Talk Showdown, but huge shout out to them for also giving us these packets to give away. So we will be giving them away. Stay tuned for that these next few weeks. We're going to start off episode 300, which is a couple of weeks away, baby. April 25th. We'll give away the first couple sets of this game, and then moving forward we will do so. So stay tuned, stay lit, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe on all our social media platforms so that you can be a part of the loop, so you could be in the game, baby. Make sure also, with that being said, buy us a drink, baby. Y'all here, so buy us a drink, support the show. We out here doing the best we could out here, so
we're trying our best in what they call an election year, I believe. And speaking of election year, what a better time than to have a draft, baby.
Ooh,
it is time. The draft is scheduled to come soon. Actually, this month, to be exact. Talk to me about this draft, Mischief. Who we electing to see here? Because as much as I hate to admit this, SmackDown is out of a legendary, once in a lifetime superstar for at least the foreseeable future right now. Do we have to send a new heavyweight champion down to SmackDown?
Yeah, probably. I think Damian Priest is probably gonna have to live there because Cody
Oh,
Rhodes is gonna be the Raw.
damn! I thought you were gonna go with Cody to
Nah,
SmackDown.
I think Raw will always be the main showcase. So I can't imagine a world in which my glasses are crooked. God damn it.
Oh,
I can't imagine a world in which Cody Rhodes is not on the Raw
roster.
roster. Yeah, can't
Hmm.
figure that out. So April 26th is gonna be night one. April 29th is gonna be night two. April 26th is gonna be SmackDown. April 29th is Raw. However, the inclination here is that NXT is gonna have draft picks,
Hey.
and that talent will be making their way back down to NXT.
Oh, like reverse, like Baron Corbin did with
Yeah.
his run, right? That helped him so much.
So
You
far,
say
so
that, yeah.
far, every talent that has gone back to NXT has benefited. Right now,
Who's
Ivar is in
who,
NXT.
he's next. He's the next one.
Yeah, he just had a thing.
Um,
Um,
I can't remember anybody besides Corbin, Ivar, and just the
Natalia, Mandy Rose, Becky Lynch,
Ziggler. I was gonna say Ziggler.
Ziggler.
Um, then the women too did do that too. The women went out there crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like
They all
every
did. Yeah, that should
everybody
help
that's
all of
gone
them.
back has had great showings, great matches. They've popped. And I
They've
think
helped
that's
whoever they've been working with.
they've clearly elevated. So I want to see more of that. And I think a draft would be an interesting way to get them down there without feeling like a demotion or whatever.
Right.
Um, let's get some talent down there that's not being used. You know, it would be excellent to see an Akira Tozawa down there, like doing some legitimate fighting, as opposed to, the bullshit he's doing now.
They've
Um,
used them a few times, yeah.
so,
Um,
like, just to see people kind of get a refresh, there's certainly that space for that. I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
ouch. Groovy wants the Usos.
Yo, Gooby said,
Yo, we were saying no feet instead of no yeet at Mania.
dog, cause all them super kicks, bro. We tired of this shit.
No
Man,
feet.
no feet.
No
So,
feet.
I would love to see a world where NXT gets a couple of like main roster stars in that draft, and I think this is a great way to bring up some people that maybe you wouldn't have expected to bring up. NXT is loaded right now. It's loaded. I think they've done a great job of building within. One of the best things that we've seen from NXT is their ability to recruit talent that's not traditionally indie talent and build from a base of
Yes.
no name talent, if you will. And I think that's what's best for business at the time. All these people they got down there that are just waiting for their turn. They've got tremendous talent. I mean, Michael Hickenbottom's Instagram feed is crazy. Shawn Michaels' Instagram feed is crazy right now because of the way he recruits and what he's done to that women's division. So it's just exciting
Yeah.
to see the pieces they have, and I think the draft will really highlight some of that moving forward.
They're revamping everything over in Stanford, man. They getting ready for the draft, and then on top of that, they're unveiling a brand new production studio at that nearby, 30,000 square foot studio complex, and they're gonna call it The Studios at WWE headquarters. Here's a little new logo there. Well, not a little logo, but I guess artwork there that came out with the news today. I think production just got a revamp, says Mr. Levesque and team, and I guess this has something to do with the new sports camera angles and all whatnot. Maybe this can better assist them with production. What I guess.
If we're really looking at a world where they go to Netflix, right, and then that's what we're staring at, they need to create content outside of just like the Mondays and Fridays and Tuesdays.
Oh, big
They need
fat.
to create, and they're great at it, right? There's a documentary that was supposed to air on Wednesday that had nothing to do with AEW. There was a documentary for WrestleMania and how everything kind of came together, and they're still working on that apparently. But aside from like those documentaries, there's got to be more. And I think that when you look at someone like ESPN, which I think WWE has the opportunity to be like the ESPN of wrestling or even of combat sports, if you take into consideration TKO and UFC,
Right, right,
um,
right.
then having talk shows, having countdowns, having all those extra contents and a place to record them at, and a place like if you have a studio that has bump, that has pre-shows, that has interview spaces, that has kind of that environment already built into it, and it's a place to get those people ready, right? So like those backstage people can already be prepping in their own kind of space as opposed to just being in Orlando. I think that, bro, all of that is fantastic. It's fantastic. We're already seeing crazy changes and revamps to the product. Groovy J pointed out the speed matches,
Yeah, man.
right? And
Hmm.
and Groovy J, I ask you and I ask everybody watching, what did you think about those speed matches?
Yeah, like that.
Like,
That's something different and just really out of the box, out of nowhere too. Nobody really saw that coming.
I loved it. The matches that I saw, I was like, yo, this is fantastic. I think that we have so much talent in WWE. One of the worst things of the McMahon era was his ability to juggle those talents in a meaningful way. Um, which goes back to our conversation about WrestleMania and how everything paid off, right? Vince was not great at juggling multiple storylines at the same time in a meaningful way. He was like, from one week to the next, he's like, I don't know, this doesn't make sense. I don't want to do it, and
Kill
that's
it!
it.
I'm gonna kill it!
And then
I'm gonna
he killed the
kill
whole
it!
story. People were like prepping for like a whole ass storyline that never came. Um, so hopefully in the Paul Levesque era, what we see is that diversification of content, of um, of giving talent more time, right? Like Groovy J just said, not I like it a lot.
I want
So
some Ricochet in that
and
bitch.
and showcasing a variety of matches, right? So like this speed match allows people like Ricochet, people like Tozawa, people like even like Bronson Reed, who had a great showing, right? Boom, boom, boom. This is a completely different style. It's a different plate. Yo, you go to the buffet of WWE. This is a completely different meal than what you've had. It's different. You're not seeing the same old shit. This is a completely different game. Now you watch Backlash or you watch an Extreme Rules. That's a different plate.
Yep.
And that's going to be a different story and that's going to be a different thing. So just providing more opportunities for talent and more diversity in programming. There's only so much you can do to make Raw and SmackDown feel different.
It's like they're presenting it like if it was a video game. And in video games, you have so many different game modes, so many different style matches, so many different. You have my faction now in WWE with trading cards. Then you have my GM mode where you don't even play the game; you simulate the actual game. You don't have to know the mechanics of the actual gameplay.
Corny, hate it.
I mean,
That's that
to
supercar
each
bullshit.
his own tea, right? And then you have GM mode. I mean, not GM mode. My Rise, where you actually play as my player and you build as from NXT up into become a superstar, or you could create and start from like a legend already and build into it's so many different options. That's what they're kind of giving you here. They're
Um,
trying to make it so diverse that you have every flavor at the buffet.
and check that out. Like with the Speed Championship, because of the very specific 3 minute time limit, right? Anybody could wrestle and potentially win or lose, because it's 3 minutes. So like you have to go out throwing haymakers, and sometimes you miss a haymaker and you get clocked, and now you lose.
Toma, coño.
When you're the favorite, you're the superstar. So I think it creates an environment where anything can happen. I think that in a lot of ways, it's what they wanted Raw Underground to be. You know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying? In the sense that like it's an anything can happen environment. But with Raw Underground, they just got too. It was too one dimensional.
I don't know what missed. I don't know what missed there, but something definitely missed there.
I tell you what, if Raw Underground had like a 3 minute time limit, we'd probably be talking about a very different thing. Groovy J says this is probably the strongest I'd seen JD since NXT with these speed matches. It really does showcase different talents in different spaces. So I'm excited to see that flourish moving forward. And I think that with the draft, we're going to see a lot of talent movement. And in the Levesque era, we're going to see a lot of showcasing of talent that perhaps may not have gotten the best kind of showcase, in their time. So I'm really excited to see. And we got some new signings and stuff, potential signings.
Hey,
Jacob Fatu, we got Julia.
that's some new Samoans.
So
That's some new Samoans. Can't wait for
a
that.
lot of exciting times. It's exciting times.
Let's switch gears a little bit because we're gonna keep it on some exciting times. AEW though, announcing the launch of All Elite Arcade, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Mr. Chugs himself has himself some friends. Evil Uno and Chugs, better known as Adam Cole Baby, will be launching an All Elite Arcade on Wednesday. It will begin, and they're gonna have a better full announcement that day with more details on that. But to me, it looks like already it looks like a gold mine. Adam Cole, known for his Mr. Chug's persona on Twitch, and he gets a lot of followings and covers a lot of gameplay, as does Evil Uno on Twitch. So I'm sure those two streamers combined is gonna make a mega stream of gaming fans ready to watch. So that's gonna be something to
When
jump
we talk
on.
about diversity of content, this is a place where AEW can thrive. I think that we saw a lot of that with Up Up Down Down, right? And how
Yes.
there's a whole market of wrestling fans who are gamers who would be really, really vested and interested in something gamer related. And I think one of the biggest mistakes of the McMahon era was to shut that shit down, right? When they shut down the streaming services and the Twitch relationship,
Oh, word.
when they really crapped on that whole thing, I think that's when Up Up Down really got hurt. And a lot of like Zelina Vega, who's got her own business that we got to discuss, but her salary was more from Twitch than it was from WWE, you know. But I say all that to say that like when AEW came out as the alternative, and they leaned heavy on this gamer part, I thought that they would thrive in this realm. And what I've seen is that like Fight Forever was kind of mediocre, right? It was a dud in some senses. The game was fun, but it was very limited. There was this opportunity to like really tap into that market, and I don't think they have. So I'm excited to see like someone like Adam Cole, who's a big name for them, someone like Evil Uno, who is someone that they don't use, put this together, and I hope that it's a hit. I hope that it's a hit because I think that they can do here what Up Up Down Down couldn't do in WWE.
Right. I mean, much luck to them in that genre, but I mean, I don't think they're gonna need much luck. They have a pretty strong following individually as it is. Combining that, it's gonna be even much more so. I think the only thing I see is just that Chugs guy is no Adam Cole, man. I tell you. Dope for the gaming community though. They're gonna enjoy that. And you mentioned Selena Vega. I didn't bring up. I didn't put up her image on here, but she got into some altercations with a fan about merch and wardrobes. But it looks like, to be honest, she has receipts, and she's claiming that they on the receipts it has them saying that they don't want to be reimbursed. They don't want to be compensated for anything at
Yo,
all.
so when I first saw the exchange, right, Zelina Vega, this girl is shitting on Selena Vega.
Yeah. She
Right?
was upset. She was pretty
She
upset.
she gypped me on my work. She didn't pay. She severely underpaid me.
She sounded like a Cody cry.
Wasted my time, blah blah blah. And I was like,
Talking about
damn,
a
that's
story.
crazy. She goes, as a Puerto Rican, you are literally a disgrace and
Come
100%
on,
not for your people, let
man.
alone small business. I was just like, damn, that's crazy. I definitely don't want to work with celebrities, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, right? So she goes off and to say all this stuff. However, Zelina Vega came back with all these receipts about the exchanges, and this girl ends up looking foolish as hell.
Yo, I mean, look at that. The good thing she kept those receipts. I really wasn't worried too much either because of the. So I'm a dick. It was because of the presentation too. I felt like she didn't make too much sense on the first part when she first came out with it. So I was kind of iffy about it
Mike the ref in the building.
right off the bat. Mike
Sounds
the
like she
Red
needs
pulling
to be
up.
on the Ariel Hawani podcast.
But I mean, there it goes. I mean, she wasn't all in the
The
wrong
girl
at all.
said, "I don't want to get paid. I'm good." And
That's
then
it.
I think what happened, and this is me, this is an assumption completely. I think that somebody got in that girl's ear and was like, "What?
Yo,
She's a
good, yeah,
WWE star. You better get some money. She's gonna be on TV. Your shit's gonna be on TV, bro." And then that's when she started getting funky. And Zelina Vega smelled it right from the jump because she was like,
yeah.
"Yo, all right, now you reneging on the conversation. I don't know if I want to do business with you." And she was right. Because this girl, honestly, to come out and put that out after having told her in text, "I don't want to get paid." Nah, you look dumb now. And quite
Yeah.
frankly, Zelina Vega's on TV, right? I'm not saying do this shit for free, but if there was a miscommunication, you eat it this time,
Yeah,
and then
for
you
later.
charge the next time, and you be like, "All right, well now since I did the thing, let's talk about it, and now bro." She just burned herself out of the
Right,
big boy.
Mike. Right. That's exactly what
I
she
think
was
she
on.
just thought she'd get some extra work showing everyone she did all this work. She just burned herself.
That's the
Absolutely.
vibe she was on. That's
If I'm
exactly
in
what it was.
AEW, if I'm in WWE, I ain't hitting this girl up. Yo, the shit look legit. The attire looked dope.
No, it was dope. I saw the artwork and the sketching. That shit was dope. It sucks that they didn't get that off because that would have been dope.
But now she ain't gonna get paid by a wrestler for this. She fooled. She really fooled it up. This is fumbling the bag in a major way. If you miscommunicated, you miscommunicated.
I think there's a
You misinterpreted.
yeah. I think there's a bigger way that you can fumble the bag though.
Talk about it.
So Hook could be headed somewhere else later this year.
Ooh, that's where you went with that, huh?
This is where I'm going.
Okay.
This is where I'm going because not any disrespect to Hook or anything, and not that he's not over like Rover. He sure is in AEW. Just make sure this elsewhere you're going, I don't think it's gonna be the E right away. Just make sure it's gonna be somewhere. It's gonna be, good money for you and good for your family, and also you're gonna get the same amount of burn you're getting. Because I don't see him going to the E right away right now. And if it's somewhere else, it's definitely not as bigger than AEW, right?
I feel so conflicted here. Look, you always chase the bag. Always chase the bag.
Right.
Right? That's
chase
a
the bag.
no-brainer. You always chase the bag.
Do you think Hook is ready for WWE?
I don't think Hook is ready for anything other than what AEW has to offer right now. And I only say that because it's a large enough platform that he gets burned, and he's big enough there, right? But he's very one dimensional, and I think people are starting to notice. So if he's really looking to maximize his bag, I almost feel like it needs to be in AEW, because I don't know that anywhere else is gonna put him on this platform. Like if he goes to WWE, right? Let's say he shows up on NXT, for example. Um, is he gonna be showcased the way he's showcased as a badass in AEW?
Highly doubt it.
Highly doubt it. Now they might give him more money. That's the part that you chase your bag, you get your money, right? But don't fuck up the short term. Don't fuck up the long term for the short term, right?
There's more money if you stay back a little bit. Build.
I almost think so. I think that there may be more money long term if he stays back.
I agree.
Maybe he
I
does
definitely agree with that.
NJPW on the side, and he develops, because he's a badass with no reputation, right? So he's just a badass off of his dad's word, off of this aura, and that's pretty flimsy. Those are two very flimsy things. He's one CM Punk altercation away from looking like a fool.
Right. And I definitely agree with Mike. He's not a standout at all yet. And I think what he's done in AEW, he does stand out, and he's been great with it. But I just don't think he's finished yet. I think you gotta kind of solidify that more. And keep going a little bit more in AEW, growing a little bit more, and then maybe make that jump.
He's got to grow.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
He's got to finish his story.
Yeah, everybody finishing stories now. That's where we at right now. Everybody finishing story.
On the flip side of that, like I almost feel like it's kind of staying in AEW is a dangerous place because of their lack of development.
They might show backstage footage of you.
Yo, they did. He was just standing there while everything was happening. It was the most hooked fucking thing. He's just like, oh damn, my boy just got jumped. That's crazy. But I think like because of his persona, staying in AEW, doing maybe Noah, doing maybe a blood sport, doing maybe what's it called? NJPW. Right, like he needs. If you're gonna be a badass who's an ass kicker, if you're gonna be a badass ass kicker, then you need to go somewhere where you can kick some ass.
Yeah.
So go to a blood sport and rock some faces, right? Like go to NJPW and have some brawling ass matches. Like he's got to put a resume together, and he's too young to just live off of that. He needs to really go. Kick some ass. Like that's his character. He just needs to go kick some ass. And I'm afraid that if he goes to NXT, they'll put him in a couple comedy spots. They'll misuse him. He's somebody that's too specific in the way he needs to run.
Yeah.
But NJPW, because of the language barrier and not really having to cut a lot of promos, and because they're about hard-hitting wrestling and strong style, I think he can thrive there. I think he can thrive in excursions out there. I think that he can really make a name for himself, where when he comes back out of all that in a couple years, like if he does this right in the next 5 years, we can be talking about Hook is a badass looking for a new contract in WWE,
yes.
Potentially like going to WWE as I don't want to say a Braun Breaker, but like in this just mauler persona, but right now he's not really the mauler persona anywhere but AEW.
So
yeah, that's just a vibe.
That's pretty much it. I feel the same way. I don't think it's the right time. I think timing is everything, and then it's just not the right time. Speaking of timing, it is time for some HPCs of the week. We're about getting close there.
Shout out to Mike the Ref. If you break it down, it's actually Hook's fault for the fight at All In. If he would have just not fell into that car window.
Reverse. You're supposed to hit Y.
He was supposed to hit Y. Yo, did you see Wikipedia? Wikipedia has, if you go to All Elite Wrestling, the owner of All Elite Wrestling is CM Punk.
Oh my god.
So when you sit there, so when you assholes sit there and analyze, oh, was this good for business? Consider that. Consider how much of a fucking joke your business looks right now.
Yeah, man.
When people are saying, yo, CM Punk owns your business, when he's the one being chanted and when you're the one pulling your content off the air because you're afraid of how it looks. I'm just saying. It looked
rough week for AEW.
It's a
rough week. It's a real rough week for Tony Khan. And rough week for Sasha Banks because my chair shot of my heel of the week, I guess, not a chair shot. Because I enjoyed it. It's just Sasha Banks getting into Mercedes Moné getting interrupted during her segment this week on Dynamite. And being attacked. I believe Widow Nightingale has something to do with that. I'm not gonna lie. I watched too much wrestling and not believe so. But it could have been the other way around. And what's her name? The TBS champion. Sky Blue's partner.
Julie Hart.
Julie Hart could have had something to do with this as well. So I'm just intrigued to see who did it. Who done it? Did he? Not did he? No, did he?
Nah, did it. I just keep going back. Like, if I gotta talk about a chair shot of the week, it's AEW right now. And yo, it's gotta be, bro.
It has to.
Forbes, a completely impartial third party. Forbes, right? Listed as CM Punk defeating Jack Perry in the backstage footage. For the Dynamite result of April 10th, 2024.
Yo, shout out to Forbes for doing that.
Maybe not impartial, Mike. Maybe not totally impartial, but a third party nonetheless. My point is that you look foolish, and now this is what people are talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Yo.
I know you wanted to take headlines from WrestleMania, and I guess you are, but not all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah,
Nick Khan made the call to Forbes. I'm not Ruby J. You know the deal.
Oh man, the AEW will bounce back. They got some momentum. They're trying to at least build momentum into the next pay-per-view. Look, I think give it another week, and then we'll be talking, or a week or two. We'll be talking about how Swerve just became the new AEW champion, and maybe we can make some noise with that and go running off to the races with that one. Maybe that's a better look for them going down the road.
Question for y'all. What did The Rock give Cody Rhodes?
Oh yes, let's talk about it. I already know what it is. I know what it was.
What is it?
Y'all want to know what it is?
You gave him an eighth?
I mean, that was off the air. But he actually gave him a refund to Black Adam because it broke his heart. And he just didn't want his heart broken again. And that's what I think it was. Nah, man, I have no idea, but maybe we will find out before SummerSlam.
I gotta say this, right? Since The Rock's involvement in the story, right? And I think he really introduced an interesting dynamic to the bloodline, to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns took a back seat and all that, and I think that will make him more interesting moving forward, because when The Rock comes back, now it's like tribal chief. Like, what are you the tribal chief of? And now Roman and Rock has to happen. Like, that has to happen. And then Rock and Cody Rhodes, and like we needed another layer to Roman. Like, he got the title reign, 1,316 days. Like, all right, cool. Now we need something else. You are the third longest title reign in the history. So now what? It was either his dad's Hall of Fame ring or it was a piece of Reigns' Leia, as he is the true tribal chief, says Mike the ref.
Why would The Rock have that ring? Is that long-term storybooking right there that he would have that ring? Am I missing something? Did he like have that?
I'm not sure, but I would I the wrinkle that The Rock introduced makes this all very exciting because who knows what he gave him. Since the beginning, The Rock has been like such a variable. And like you didn't know what was gonna happen with The Rock. You didn't know The Rock was gonna come out here cursing. You didn't know The Rock was gonna come out here bleeding. You didn't know he was gonna sell the way he did. You didn't know he was gonna be as interesting as he was. You didn't know that that Roman Reigns was gonna take such a back seat. Like all that stuff was just so fresh. So this little caveat, right, um, will be exciting to follow as days turns into weeks and we have to wait to see what The Rock does when he comes back.
Right. And I feel like maybe Reigns won't come back either until The Rock comes back. Maybe they're both gone for a while.
I think they're both gone for a while, but I think Roman comes back before The Rock.
Okay. Hopefully.
Yeah. I don't think Roman's got to come back and start rebuilding whatever he's got, like whatever he needs to do. You know what I mean? Like he needs to do that. I don't think that we're in a space where Roman can just take off another year or so and then just be back with The Rock.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I want to see Roman. I want to see Roman get steam, and then The Rock comes back again, and then it's like, yo, bro, get your own shit. Stop riding mine. Like, you know, Rock becomes
Cody. Mania is what Mike's alluding to here. I like it.
Rock a surprise entry out of the Rumble so they can book the story properly. Groovy J says SummerSlam Roman got to be back by then. See, like, I think Roman's got to come back. You know, take your break. I think Roman. I mean, as I'm saying, I kind of want to pull it back because I'm like, yo, take your break. You deserve it. But Roman really wrestled like halftime, right?
He ran like 33 times.
but as the person that just held the record for as long as he did, right? The third longest title reign, I should say. I think that Roman deserves a little bit of time. He needs to freshen up. And I think anytime that a long-standing champion loses his title, you should be wiped off the face of the earth for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just so that you can freshen up. Unless there's a story that involves a chase, then yeah. Get off TV. Go do a rebuilding angle. Right? Maybe do an injury angle. Like Seth Rollins, I don't think Seth Rollins should come back for a minute.
Yep. Come back with a countdown to the millennium.
Yo, you know, something like that. Like build up an amount of time where people miss you. People miss you, and then when you do come back, it's like, oh shit, right? It's not like, oh, why? We're just continuing this.
You're not gonna leave. You're just gonna stay, right?
Yeah, you didn't really leave. Like leave, like let people miss you. I think right now is interesting because if like Seth is wrong, Seth is gone, Rock is gone, Roman's gone, right? We'll see a little bit of turnover. Maybe we could see a couple of people fill the void of the top of the card, right? Let's pull Becky out a little bit. Like we don't need to see Becky for a minute. Let Becky and Seth do the family thing for a minute. Right. Let them do the family thing for a minute, and when they come back, we'll be hyped to see them. Let them pull back. Let everybody kind of refresh, especially the ones that have been at the top of the card for a minute.
Right.
Let Gunther become a monster
that's
for
gonna happen too. I think. Listen, I think we're in for a hell of a ride with the next couple months. Being that everything's international, they're gonna want to sell seats. I'm surprised they sent The Rock back home too early, but I mean, you know what? I'm sure they got other shit planned. They got Gunther coming up. You got Chad Gable coming up for Sammy. There's a story there. There's gonna be some stuff, man. Jade's gonna come out. Like WWE's gonna be trying to sell these tickets, and we're in for some good TV coming on. And not to mention AEW too on their way to with this Dynasty pay-per-view coming up. Daniel Bryan, Will Ospreay's a must watch. I can't wait for that one, man. Swerve and Samoa Joe got me hooked. So
pop for Ospreay's
Ospreay's promo today was dope.
Cause I did think it was weird when Triple H cut that promo on Osprey essentially like, oh, some people are not built for the grind. I think it was a little bit on Osprey. I think it was a little bit on Okada. Um, I didn't know, I didn't understand where that came from, right? So I love that Osprey shouted back and he was like, "Yo, you grind. You just in your position from grinding on the boss's daughter, baby. Let's go." I was hyped as hell. Apparently, he wanted to say something to CM Punk too, but they told him not to, which I think is wise.
Very wise.
The fact that like they built half the show around CM Punk. Like, let's stop talking about that motherfucker. God damn. Either way, it's fun. It's a fun time to be a fan. Groovy J, you're absolutely right. WrestleMania was absolutely fun. AEW's been doing some fun stuff in spite of what you may have seen on Wednesday. So it is definitely a great time, a great time to be a fan. Like the ref said, I think the Osprey promo and the tape reveal needs to be considered the same way. Two people that are tired of the bully punching them. Yeah, but I think the Osprey promo was better executed because it's just a bar. It's just a bar. Like, yo, you could say something and keep it moving. It's not a whole segment with a whole focusing on a talent that's not even on your show anymore.
That's the worst part is the CM Punk chants and the connection to him still. Because if it wasn't him connected to it, then, and if he was still with the company, of course, but that part is still what gets me. Like, why would you do anything with his name on it on purpose? Yeah, hanging on that.
You just
I don't think the Bucks did too much build for that with the reveal, but maybe we got a better match for it. Who knows?
I don't think that anything that they did needed that footage. And I think that the whole purpose, apparently, of the footage was to embarrass CM Punk, and I don't think it did that. I don't think it embarrassed CM Punk. Did it try to show him in a negative light? Yeah, all right. Did he choke a coworker? Yeah, okay. Again, coworker is a strong word when we're talking about combat sports, right? If anybody that's played a serious competitive sport, I've fought teammates. Like, you fight people in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happens. It happens. Not that it's okay or anything. Not that I expect. But, like, wrestling has had a long history of people fighting in the back. That's nothing new. So, again, not to say that it's okay, but it's to think that it's going to paint CM Punk in such a negative light that it's going to embarrass him. Are we serious about that? Like, we're watching shows that until recently, right, was run by an alleged sexual assaultist, right, in Vince McMahon, right, and
come on out, you rapist.
We can't have nice things. And so like I don't know how much shame exists in wrestling in that right? Yeah. It isn't a sport, though. I hate to go with that, but there's no reason that mentality here. Was Punk jealous of Perry getting over more than him? It isn't a sport, but it's still a physical endeavor. It's still sport-esque. It's still competitive in the same way that like Broadway actors would compete, right? So it's the only non-sport sport. You know what I mean? It exists in a very specific realm, but I disagree with you, Mike. It is, while it's not a sport, it's still in a space that very much has the boys in the back feel, and that comes from sports. That comes directly from sports. And I would argue that most people that play sports or have played sports have seen a fight in the locker room. I know I've seen plenty, right? With my very limited sports acumen. Like I'm not a world beater here, but I played some high school ball. I played some semi-pro. Like I've seen it, and I've seen it pretty frequently. Vic works hard.
Speaking of JP, dímelo JP
He
pulling up.
took JP Savage next week. Yeah, he should. JP Savage is a piece of shit, and so is Vic. So I want to see it. Like, I want to see it. I support that message, Mike the Rough. I think that we are in agreement there. but podcasting is not a sport, right? Like, I still would say, like, when we're talking about wrestling is in very many ways. While it's not a sport, it's kind of Mike says, I'll sell tickets. Great. I mean, I'm in. Yo, Vic, you got to choke out JP next time you see him.
Just choke a little bit.
You got to choke out your coworker a little bit.
Choke him a little.
Because it's the responsible thing to do.
Yes. I thought I was being
professional.
responsible.
He said, because it's the professional thing to do. I like that. I want that on a shirt, by the way.
Let's talk to Jungle Boy, see if we could get it on one of his merchandise.
I choked my coworker a little bit. It was the professional thing to do. That's what I want on his shirt.
Oh dear. I'm still trying to work on that Pin Your Mom shirt that you can now get still on our website. So check that out as soon as it's back up.
As soon as we put the website back on. In the meantime, buy us a drink, buy us a beer. Right? What's up? We thirsty out here.
We thirsty for a site. You already know.
Make sure you check us out on all our platforms. Oh, don't forget, foco.com, FOCO.com, for all your officially licensed merch, including bobblehead, a dope ass bobblehead collection. All right. Use a promo code HEEL10 so you can get a discount on said merch. All right. Foco.com, man. Also, I mean, while we're at it, right, let's shout out Smack Talk Showdown once again for being the sponsors of the No Nice Thing Tailgate.
Right, baby.
And for supporting these prizes, baby. We're going to be giving out some Smack Talk Showdown. We got a bunch of games here to give out. We got some of the expansion packs to give out. The expansion packs.
The expansion packs where it's at. Yeah,
I love the expansion packs. Not gonna lie, I think they're my favorite. Lewd Attitude, Not Safe for Work game expansion pack. That's where my fandom lies right now. So we'll be doing some of that. Episode 300, baby.
We on the way. We on the way, baby.
April 25th. We're only a few weeks away. Today is episode 298. Yeah, damn. We out here. 298.
Two more to go. Let them know what to do on their way out, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Heels, Pops, Chair Shots, Wrestling's Entertainment Champions, and you could catch us on Twitter, Instagram, all our platforms and profiles, baby. Twitch, Kick. We are now on Kick.
Hey.
Please follow us, like, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button, the bell, the whistle, and all that good stuff. Make sure you follow for more information. We are here every Thursday, and make sure, because that's all the time we got, baby. We out here. Yeah, subscribe and like, hit that button right now. All right, follow us on Twitch, SoundCloud, iTunes, your mother's.
Hey.